What's up, everybody? It is the Best Bot Kids movement. I'm back with another video, and man, I figured, dude, I just need to put out something. Been reading a lot of stuff on Twitter, looking at a lot of YouTube videos, see what everybody's talking about, and there's this common theme. And this video, I mean, a video like this can be done every day, but there's this common theme, especially today. There's this growing just need to like negative Xbox news. Like the PlayStation fanboys are going like really hard, and I'm trying to figure out why. I'm like, what? I don't understand what's going on. It's like every day, like especially like this between the last like 6 months, it was been a birth of brand new PlayStation fanboys, PlayStation fangirls. They're the PlayStation is now breeding more female corporate slaves. And they're just as worse. Honestly, I don't know if they're real or male sock accounts. I don't know, but they're just as bad as the male fanboys, and it's just like it's a little annoying. But after a while, I've been doing a good job, sort of ignoring it and just addressing things when I need to. So PlayStation started off the year, pretty respectable. They have some hits to come out. Obviously, Horizon Forbidden West. I know people praise Saifu and they claim that as some PlayStation game, but I believe that's like coming to Xbox at some point. I really don't care. And Gran Turismo, obviously the cap off the first quarter, you had Gran Turismo Babylon's Fall, which flopped horribly. But Gran Turismo was like, very anticipated. People wanted to finally shut us up for talking about Forza Horizon 5. We've been talking about Forza Horizon 5 for so long. They couldn't wait till Gran Turismo 7 come out so they can show us all those photo mode photos of the game. And that sort of backfired. So the whole Gran Turismo 7 thing, and I think that's what it is. I think the game is not being as hot. A lot of these people who are talking, who were constantly talking about like these PlayStation games, they haven't beaten Horizon Forbidden Yes. They're either or they're not playing it. Gran Turismo didn't score a 90 or better. It didn't outscore Forza. Matter of fact, Gran Turismo 7 is the worst based on user scores. The worst rated Gran Turismo game ever. It's actually the worst rated game of the year based on user score. Now, the Metascore is a respectable 87. But I guess it's a far cry for what the PlayStation fanboys were expecting. The game visually, people are finding it hard. Even though some select people, they try to claim that it looks better than Forza. To me, I don't care how many, I don't care who you are, how much pixels you count for days. When I look at those two games, both Forza Horizon 5 and Forza 7 looks better than Gran Turismo 7 to me. Gran Turismo looks great in cockpit mode from what I saw, and obviously it looks great in this little photo modes and the little image modes that they do. Those it's night and day difference from what the game looks like in those still shots that people be taking, those high res photos and stuff, versus the actual game when you're actually playing. I'm always cared about the visuals when I'm playing because that's when I'm interacting with the game. Some cutscenes, if I don't like the game, I'm skipping through the cutscenes. In most games, cutscenes look great. So a lot of people have been, anticipating this, and it turned out not everybody thinks the game looks all that great. Not that it look bad. It just, it doesn't look better to me. In my opinion, it doesn't look better than Forza Horizon 5. So Gran Turismo is a harder argument to use against the Xbox fanboys because it didn't score better than Forza. We haven't really heard too much about the sales. We know about the microtransaction, despite the game costing $70. So the game's getting some backlash. PlayStation fanboys can't really use it as a token as they thought they could. They tried to use Horizon Forbidden West, but Elden Ring had became the talk of the town, so everybody's been talking about that game. Everybody's been playing that. Xbox players kind of had Elden Ring to fill the void of a Horizon. So that argument, that fight wasn't strong enough. You had people do that bullshit where everything that PlayStation makes, they want to compare it to Halo Infinite for some reason. They compared Horizon Forbidden West open world to Halo Infinite's open world. It's like, okay, but that's what they resorted to. But I'm sorry, it's March 2022. People have moved on, according to you guys who've always sharing the Halo Infinite Steam numbers. You know, people moved on to different games, right? So it's funny that the games they use to weaponize against Xbox. First, it was Horizon Forbidden West. That didn't work because Elden Ring came out, and that's on everything, and it's the highest rated game of the year so far. They tried Gran Turismo, but Gran Turismo turned out to not be better than Forza. It's to the point where people are comparing Forza Motorsport 7, the Xbox One X 2017 game, compared to the newly released Gran Turismo. So that didn't work. So now they're just inching for every win. Shout out to Dark Doc 1985. I think I always say his name wrong. Dark Doc or Doc Dark. What is one of them, right? There's levels to this. You guys know who I'm talking about. He pointed this out, and Grand Theft Auto comes out, right? So now here's the claim to fame. There's like they need that Grand Theft, they need that Digital Foundry, they need that NX Gamer, they need some frame rate analysis on this game. Grand Theft Auto 5, 2013, by the way. It's finally ported to the PS5 and Series X. They run their 4K, they run their resolution modes, performance mode. PS5, by some and select people's request, it was early reported that PlayStation 5 like performs significantly better. Digital Foundry does their report, and the performance gains are about the same. Actually, there's levels, there's like places, some parts of the game drop harder on PS5 where it doesn't drop as hard on Xbox, and then some parts of the game drop harder on Xbox where it doesn't drop on PlayStation. It was found out that Xbox have better reflections in all the modes that doesn't use ray tracing. I think there's like 3 modes in there, and PlayStation have better shadows. But the thing is that people were capping Grand Theft Auto, but Grand Theft Auto is an old game, a very, very old game. Now, both consoles honestly should be like, there should be no frame rate drop on any of the consoles. They should be able to run a game at 4K 60 locked. Like, Grand Theft Auto is a 360 PS3 game, let's be honest, at its core. So the thing is that people were capping that game. They're saying Xbox isn't powerful, all this other stuff. PlayStation, once again, another one, all this other bullshit. But it reminded me, I'm like, damn, when I was capping for FPS boosts, people was like, those are all old games. But if you look at the list of FPS boost games, majority of those games, actually 90% of those games, came out after Grand Theft Auto. They're newer than Grand Theft Auto 5. Majority of FPS boost games are Xbox One generation games. Remember, Grand Theft Auto is a PS3 360 game, and majority of the games on Xbox FPS boost, it came out 2014 or later. 2014 is like the earliest game, and then they just recently did some 360 games that they FPS boosted, but those came with resolution boosts as well. So, and those run, a majority of FPS boost games run at pretty much lock. We got games on FPS boost that went from 30 to 120 frames per second. We got games that went from 30 to 60, 30 to 120. So Xbox is the Series X and Series S still has the most games running at 60. Most games still running at 120. And even in FPS boost games, Mass Effect trilogies running at 120 on Xbox, is limited to 60 and 30 on PlayStation, whatever. But so the thing is they're using that as a weapon against Xbox, but it's like then that allows me to bring up my FPS boost counter, because I can literally just put every Assassin's Creed game that released side by side with them playing on PlayStation. The Xbox is going to win by default because Xbox plays all but like one Assassin's Creed game at 60 FPS. And that's because they didn't update Origins yet. But every other Assassin's Creed game that released runs at 60 FPS on Xbox Series X and S. Every other Assassin's Creed game that released so far plays at 30 FPS on PlayStation 5, with the exception of Odyssey and Valhalla, because those got next-gen upgrades. All the other ones just playing in this vanilla version, whereas the Series X as a console upgraded those games for us. So not sure if people want to continue to use Grand Theft Auto as some sort of benchmark. Now they're talking about grid. Now this is the second time they try to use grid as some weakness, right? This one dude used, now I'm actually convinced this dude was playing grid on the Xbox One X. Now when you look at the frame rate analysis. But this one dude had the grid comparing the frame rate on the Series X, PS5, and the Series S, and they had the Xbox dropping all over the place, and PlayStation, and Series S was holding off a better frame rate. And I'm like, I did my own tests, and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't seem right. Either they just patched it, or this dude's literally playing on a different console. I don't know, but it came out, and now more people are doing tests, and Digital Foundry did their tests. It's pretty much a lock 60 on all platforms, and also 100. They have 120 modes on all platforms, but the Series S. But since the frame rate argument didn't work, they now, because it was found out that Grid uses dynamic resolution, dynamic 4K, right? And then at some weird points during the game, it's like something you're not really gonna witness or like notice, where the game drop, like when it starts its resolution, whatever dynamic scaling. On the Series X, it drops down lower at like 1008p versus PS5 1296p. Now this isn't in like typical gameplay. It's like camera cuts or something like that. It's not typical. In typical gameplay, in the same video that people are using to say that the PlayStation 5 runs better, they confirm the Series X average a higher resolution in typical gameplay throughout the game. That's the advantage that it has. They both run at 60. They both are dynamic 4K. Just Series X maintains a higher frame rate on average during gameplay, which actually freaking matters. So I don't know, but as people have been, now it's not even that. Like, we know the whole thing about Perfect Dark development. They're weaponizing that. Now they're trying to weaponize the Fable. A developer came out talking that the game is it's a slow development cycle because a lot of the Playground, they've only made open world racers. This is their first attempt making an open world RPG. So people are using that as like a spin, like, uh-oh, this is bad, Xbox development trouble. I was like, dudes, is not, Playground is literally probably the best or one of the best studios under Xbox Game Studios. But it's just this common want for Xbox to fail, or to be negative news concerning Xbox, and it's every day on Twitter. Just that's all that's there. It's like I don't know what it is. It's like I don't know what people want, or what the goal is. What is the end game? I don't know what it is, but I feel like nowadays it's like people are like fighting, and they're trying to achieve something, and I can't determine what they're trying to achieve. But it's starting to look very, very desperate. And honestly, I thought I thought I was toxic, but I can't keep up with it. I really can't keep up with it. I'm noticing I don't have like really the energy to keep up with some of the nonsense that these people post on Twitter. Is it just I don't know, man. I'm just watching things go. Like, people like try to tell me that I have like nothing to play. People got mad because I said I repackaged my Xbox Series X just to experience the unboxing. I think the Xbox Series X has the best like unboxing experience ever. So it's no cap. But people took that tweet, blew up out of nowhere. But the thing is that about the people expect me, because I primarily play on Xbox, that I'm supposed to be bored or have nothing to do or nothing to play because they've released Sifu, Horizon Forbidden West, and Gran Turismo in the last 3 months, and Xbox has released Crossfire X, Tunic, and Shredders in the last 3 months. Nah, I don't feel. I understand there is a drought. I made videos on it, but I'm currently not feeling it, dude. I'm really not. I'm not really feeling any sort of drought. I'm just playing my games really one by one, and just whatever I get done. Right now, I've been playing Elden Ring for the last month. Once I finish that, I don't know what I'm playing next. I don't even know if I'm going to want to go back into Horizon. Horizon might be in the backlog for a couple weeks after I finish Elden Ring, but I do want to get through it. But I don't know. I just wanted to talk to you guys and just kind of just share my thoughts on what I'm seeing daily on Twitter, and it's really looking like PlayStation guys, PlayStation fanboys, getting very, very uncomfortable. You know what? A couple things also happened. The Activision deal is looking more like it's gonna close probably sooner rather than later. Xbox, I don't know if you guys noticed, has been outselling PlayStation 5 on a weekly basis, according to their favorite charts, their VG charts and their UK charts, whatever. That's been going on. Maybe that's it. Maybe this is a little bit of discomfort. Maybe these fanboys are losing their confidence in their platform because it's not doing what they thought it would do, and that's dominate Xbox from front to back sales. Their games aren't scoring as high as they want them to, all that jazz. Xbox just won Publisher of the Year last year. I don't know, maybe it's just a confidence thing, and it's causing them to turn into extreme trolls online. So we'll see. Let me know what you guys think in the video. What is your take? What do you think is going on with these PlayStation guys on Twitter and on YouTube, and their constant battle to diminish anything Xbox to make the PlayStation seem more, I guess, likable? I don't know. It's my video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Xbox is the best box. I am the best spot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. I'm out of here. Peace. Stop it.